Should do that. Hello and welcome. Okay, see you guys later. Bye. I went blank. I just lost my train of thought. And see you guys later. Bye.
Yeah.
Welcome to the GA Smitty Spotlight here on some network by some dude named James Lott Jr. We're here. Frank Moran is here, of course.
Hey, everybody. Look at that.
Shit, I'm falling. My work husband.
It's our winter finale, James.
Our winter finale. This is our winter finale. It's our last show of 2022, Frank. 2022.
How the time flies. Look at us.
The year is almost over. I really can't believe that, actually. In 2 weeks, Frank, it's over.
I know, that's true. It only seems like 6 months ago that it was June.
Well, Frank, 6 months ago, it was June.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that part is true, but I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, time has been rapidly progressing this year, it seems like.
Are you ready for Christmas at all?
I mean, I guess, it's like one of those, what's the, how many gifts do you need to get? How many?
Well, so you have a kid. So I always my kids are grown and my grandkids are half grown. So I'm just giving them money.
I gave her the greatest gift of all, life. So
let's ask her if she thinks that's a good gift. Let's see what she thinks. Not a kids think, yes. See what they think. It sounds beautiful, Frank, but I don't know if she agrees to say, she agrees with that. I'll have to check with her on that. But hi, you guys. Welcome to the show. We are back. I'm going to do the church announcements, of course. We have some things. We did do the Y&R and Bold and Beautiful. They were very lively. As you say, some of my voice is like losing it. They're out now. Me, Tammy, Govea, and Amanda Russ did our last shows. Tony Moore and Chocolate Twin. Edition Days recorded it yesterday. Did a pre-record, but it'll be out today at 3 p.m. It's their last show of the year. And they interviewed Jennifer Safardi, who plays Sloane. So you want to check that out. And like us, we'll be back January 15th in the new year. So like us. And they'll have a whole new look because it's Tony at Edition Day's 8th anniversary coming up of that show.
Oh, man. And a whole new look?
Look. And Tony will be 40 years old. His birthday is during this time period, so he'll be a year older.
Man, is that the whole new look, or is there more to the look than that?
It's like Tony's gonna have a new look because he's 40, and then the show will follow. I don't know. He's looking at a whole new look because they just did it for 8 years.
Look at that. Just sprucing it up.
Sprucing it up. So I'm very excited. We're very excited. So check out my chocolate twin. Everybody over there. It's great.
Now that you had the in person, Amanda and Tammy, did you give the Y&R and Bold and Beautiful fans any special content, James?
No, we didn't.
All right.
Okay. No, we did. We didn't do shit. No, we actually did some video. People liked the take two, James. People liked they liked the videos of her in Inglewood. They all liked her in my garden, her on the train. We did a whole bunch of stuff with her. And they liked the Inglewood part, apparently. They were telling us today. They liked the Inglewood parts. So I did do some content with her here. We had a good time. But we forgot to do content together with Tammy. So we didn't do any of that. Right?
Yeah. Well, all right. But she, you got to introduce her to Sean Kanan.
She did. She had to meet Sean Kanan. Actually, folks, we did. Frank's a good setup person. We did the book signing. Thank you very much for those who came or saw it. He did a high kick again. Those high kick in his tight pants, and he yelled at Amanda. It was so funny. Apparently, she snubbed him in an email that he sent her over his product, and she was like, "I didn't read it." Like Frank, she has a lot of emails and doesn't always read them. So I was right there when it happened. I couldn't stop laughing. Hi, Susan. Hi, Chandra. Hi, George. But she had a great time. I showed her around for 3 days, basically, and then Tammy took over. Then she did the Warner Brothers tour with Ernie, Tammy's partner. So she had a great time. She went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. She had Sprinkles cupcakes. We worked it out for her. She had a good time. She had a good time. She wants to live here.
That's great. Look at that. Ambassadors to the Southern California area. James Lott.
I told her, you don't live here. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. You don't live here. It's too expensive. Where are you going to live?
I mean, maybe a roommate, James.
She has a husband.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Like, sure.
All right.
I saw where I live is I have a cheap place because I own the house, but I'm like the rest of you guys out there in LA. I know it's tough. It's tough work. I mean, Frank
Build a
pays
little guest house in the garden. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm palatial estates, me. Yeah.
So I'm like, yes. Reading for Ashes, Rodelli, they're saying hi to us. Hello, you guys. Thank you for coming in. The water is fine. Also want to say thank you for my 2 events this weekend that I had, my happy hour and soap Zoom, the last events of the year. Flobo came to his first one and loved it. They loved him.
Who doesn't love Flobito?
Flobito. That's why we all love Flobito. And Frank knows Flobo. We did these 2 shows together after us.
He refuses to speak to me now, but he's a great guy.
He says Frank's too smart for him, he said. Too smart. Oh my God, Frank, I expect your New Year's resolution to delete some of those email check. There's an email check right now as we're doing church announcements. It says
here we go. Here we go, everybody. Well, all right. Here you go. Well, we're wrapping it up here at our farewell show at 208, 119.
You guys, that hurts my eyes.
Oh,
my heart, Frank. You have that many emails unopened. Unopened.
Yeah, don't worry, I open all yours, James.
Oh, mine's fine. And the ones that are dirty, oh well, you open it up. So I mean, it's not, oh well, Frank. That's what you get. But I want to thank you guys for my events. I have more events in January and February. So you guys have not been, some of you guys in the chat have been to my events. They're a lot of fun. We're doing mental health events. We're doing all kinds of classes. I'm teaching classes. We do all kinds of stuff. So please check them out. We have fun. We have a good time. And Frank's come to a couple, and we have a good time. So it's a safe space for everybody. It's a lot of fun.
Sometimes there's raffles.
Yeah, I do raffles. I do game prizes, all kind of stuff. Oh, Sean was like, I peeped 169 voicemail messages unread, Frank.
You peeped correctly. You peeped.
How do you see that? I was like, that's quick. These are some little CSI people in here.
169. Boop, 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 boop.
I think,
look at me.
And 150 of them are me.
There you go. I can be honest, folks. When you see the nice thing about those you can more often than not you can see the voicemails. If you open it up, you just see. You can read it and not have to listen to it. So I just do that and then never delete them. So look at me.
Actually, I do that trick too, Frank. I do that trick too. I do that sometimes.
I'm a garbage person.
Leopard says hello. Her boo, Frank. Yes. Probably have those emails are spam. They probably are. There's a lot of spam going around too. Ooh, a lot of spam going around.
That's very presumptuous. You don't think I could have 208, 1,019 individual friends that have all emailed me only one time?
No. Okay, no, Frank, we don't believe that at all. Also, happy Hanukkah to our Jewish friends. I like my hat. This is my disco hat. Disco Santa hat. To our Jewish friends, happy Hanukkah. Starts at sundown. No anti-Semitic stuff happens here on JLJ Media. We do believe in equality. So happy Hanukkah to them. Also tomorrow, Frank, no soaps tomorrow. They're all being preempted, except for Days of Our Lives. They're on Peacock. They're being preempted for the January 6th final committee hearings.
Oh, wow. All right.
So no soaps. Frank, I was going to do tomorrow, but there's no soaps.
Well, I might as well not even get out of bed.
You have a job. Hello.
Oh,
go to your job. You're like, don't do that. I know. I didn't costume change on this one. I decided I'm going to leave it on Mariah. It's, I'm a handsome black Santa. Thank you. My beard is gray. It's coming all gray. So yes, you meant to say how to say Merry Christmas to Frank. Kai Wine Counter says they love you so much.
I love you as well.
And yes, yay for Hanukkah. No, we love it. It's all Hanukkah's good. It's all good. It's all good. All good to hear. We don't do racism.
Kwanzaa becoming soon as well.
Kwanzaa's coming starts day after Christmas. So that happens also. So whatever you celebrate, congratulations to you all, whatever you celebrate. Of course, we do not discriminate there.
And don't everybody forget the hottest thing happening in 2023, and that is the kickoff for the new year with James and Flobo.
Oh, yes. Yes, me and Flobo have. I'm glad you bring it up. Yes, we are literally going to be here talking goal setting and having some fun. I'm gonna show you my ham. I'll show you my ham. No, I'm gonna show you my ham, black eyed peas, and greens for good luck. It's my tradition. But we're gonna have a good time. So sign up for that. Spend time with me and Flobito, two handsome black men.
I like that this turn towards adult content in 2023.
I'm on Frank, and I gotta do anything. I gotta do what I can do now. This is just now. Now we're gonna just let it all hang out at this point. We're gonna all hang out.
Showing off that ham in 2023.
It's not a pretty ham. Yes, no soap tomorrow. Sorry, no soaps. It's all preempted. And I remember in the old days, Frank, we used to show it like at 3 a.m. or 2 like they don't do that anymore.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess you see the one benefit of the streaming, though. I mean, look at Days getting a leg up. Boom. Yeah, if you're a Days fan, you're just enjoying life.
You are. So let's get started. Hello, Albert Bostic. Everybody say hi to Albert. Okay, so super chats are enabled. I want to thank the folks who gave some super chats earlier in the other 2 shows. Thank you so much. Goes towards JLJ Media and all the operations that go on here to give you shows.
I don't think you got that hat, everybody.
Yes, the hat's like $2, but yes, the money you give me went towards the hats. My disco hat, Frank, it's all sparkly. There you go, that way. So you
get, Donna Summers vibes whenever I look at that.
Right, exactly. All right, here we go. Ham and Flobo, together, right, Tony? That's what they wrote. Ham and Flobo. I'm like, I don't know what that means, Frank, but I mean, I don't know. I got to screenshot that and send to Flobo. I'm sorry. That you win, Tony JC, for funniest comments. That is hilarious. I don't know what that really means.
Well, it's like that's your new call sign. It's just ham
and Flobo. There we go. I took it. Ham and Flobo.
You ready for your morning show on the radio in some local market? Ham and Flobo coming to you mornings.
Yeah, that's so funny. Speaking of that, a shout out to my friend Cameron Lewis, my longtime friend Cameron Lewis, who just ended his stint as the producer of the #1 morning show in Los Angeles, Woody Alt 97.1. He just left his stint for a new job. He was there for the last 6 years.
Wow.
So he did that. He's the producer of that. And of course, I became friends with him from Afterwards TV. We did shows together, like Shark Tank and Zoo and all these shows. We became friends. So I want to give congratulations to him. We went on to another job. So
nice. He's still in radio?
Still in radio. I can't announce what it is just because I don't know all the details. He kind of told me about all the details. But
it's just us, James. You can tell me.
And I would tell you, I know the rest. I just don't remember. So yes, I'm old. I remember. So, but yes, he has a new job. So I want to give a shout out. He's staying in radio, and we love Cameron Lewis. That's my buddy. So I just want to make sure. One of my loved longtime buddies. Okay, we're gonna begin with the storyline that there's every storyline drags on forever. The hook killer is back. Off vacation, apparently, Frank. Off time off. But no one talked about the other guy that got shots that was in the room. I don't know, kind of looking at him like, okay, whatever. But the hook killer struck again and got Rory.
And I am assuming though that guy he was hooked, probably because I'm sure the hook killer got him first, and then Rory shows up, the exotic animal handler. I mean, I guess maybe that's why the hook killer has been taking a siesta for a couple months, is that it takes a while to get those venomous snakes imported.
Right. You tell me, Frank. You tell me.
This storyline is problematic for a lot of reasons.
Oh, really? You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, what they've done with Nicholas and Elizabeth. It's just,
oh my God.
To be able to kind of rationalize all that because they're using Esme, it's like, could she be the hook killer? And that's why they were doing all this. So that makes no sense. And we'll get to that. But specifically, the Rory aspect of it, it just goes back to what we've been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks and months prior to this, is that the show failed to develop any sort of relationship with Esme and Trina and Rory. Correct. So when this all comes, they give Trina a reaction of somebody that we have seen this relationship building for some amount of time, but we've really seen nothing of it. And so we're not invested. So while I appreciate the acting and everything that's going on, I have no emotional attachment to it because the show hasn't convinced me that there's any sort of relationship there.
I agree. It's what's funny is the whole setup was weird because he took it upon himself, like the files. And at first I was thinking, oh, is he doing something bad? I was like, oh, he's gonna do something bad. Like we're gonna show another side of Rory. No, he's gonna go to this place he shouldn't be going to. He went there and got killed. And so I was like, and again, when he told Homegirl he loved her, I'm glad. Oh, thank you, Carolee. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To your favorite leading man. Oh, me and Frank, we're a favorite leading man.
I think you're talking about Flobo, but
right, exactly. It's not us. No, thank you. DJ, I agree with you. It was thrown together. I feel like it was thrown. It was like he says he loves her, which to me is fine because it gives Spencer something to do. That whole thing was something to do. But then it's like she didn't love him, and she went through it back and forth. Her and the Moss and Carly and Josh were talking, and she's going to tell him, I'm not in love with you, whatever. And then he gets killed. I had a feeling that it felt very predictable to me. Like you said, it was just the pieces because again, they never showed us anything with them, hardly anything. Like anything. I don't think he was a great cop either. They didn't show us a cop that much either. They really didn't do much. So
no.
Tabiani, great job. She did a great job conveying the emotions. But again, like you, I was dead inside. I didn't feel sad.
Yeah, no, which is a shame. And I mean, I guess for Rory, the character, he's still very much, because we haven't seen him too much, but he was much like Chase or much like Nathan when they first come on. Is there more the like, I got to play by the rules kind of cop? But while Chase and Nathan were able to evolve, become more well-rounded people, Rory was never given that opportunity. Yes. He was just kind of the kind of cop we saw little of.
And even in this part of the story, I did like the attention to detail where Jordan and Dante were going back and forth and reminded you thinking about Nathan. I mean, I'm glad they mentioned that briefly. That you have to follow this through because this is a person you was like a partner, I guess, or whatever. I just felt like that part they did kind of well a little bit. Like you said, everybody else is here to evolve, but this little story over here, it didn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
You're right, kids. It wasn't fleshed out. It was not fleshed out.
And it's, it was also just interesting how quickly, like, as important like that Jordan wanted to talk to Dante. And that's why Rory took off with the file. But boy, Dante, that conversation must have been super brief because Dante was
right there. He was right there. I was like, that was it. It's pretty. The end game, I keep trying to tell you guys, the end game is Sprina. I know it's Sprina. They're actually now really admitting that kind of by what they're doing. So getting Rory out the way that way is easy. Yeah. He had no family on canvas. He had nothing. Go on. I'll tell you. Well, go ahead. Just go ahead.
But I would say like what we talked about before too, which is frustrating with this, that I'm all fine if you want to be the end game, but if you wanted to give us scenes like they gave Trina this week with Rory's death, you had 3 months to get us more invested in this couple so that when you want to give us these scenes, we're feeling that. Because why not? Why not? I mean, even if we know what the end game is, still make this a moment worth itself. So let's get invested in these two, even if we know that Rory's going to be the guy that's going to get shoved to the side for Spencer. Still give us something, because now we watch these scenes and it's like, if you would have given us more, these would have been so much more richer.
I don't argue here. I'm like, me and Mariah Carey agree with you. Also, a part of the storyline that it's also given us the hoop earring.
Did Rory grab it? Still, I don't. This hook killer, whoever it is just faster than anybody. Somebody pulled a gun. Got no, this hook killer not afraid of a gun. Rory's not able to get off a shot before
Nope.
But is able, I guess, to grab an earring perhaps off the hook killer and stash it in her pocket. And I assume he maybe tried to chase her, and that's how he got the earring, because he was in another room when Dante came in. So I don't.
Like when he walked in, we was going to see Rory laying there.
Yeah,
and it was like, oh, there's some random other man. Oh, somebody else there. And then you're right, he comes out of the bedroom or whatever. She got away. So we know it's a she. Apparently, it's a she. I'm assuming it was a white girl, but the earring, they showed it to me. I'm like, oh, Curtis's bartendrix. Her name, I forgot her name was on the show. Wears hoop earrings. Somebody's the black girl killing people. But I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I personally think it's the DA or something. I think Victor's behind all this for some. It's really weird. I don't know. It's just so much going on. But again, they're dragging the storyline so long and not doing anything for it for so long that, Frank, I don't know. I don't even know who the killer is.
I mean, because it seems like the reason they kept the hook killer on ice for a while is so it could build up the Esme, Nicholas, and Elizabeth storyline, which a failure. I mean, that storyline is a failure in and of itself. And having it tried to be tied into a hook killer has done neither story any service.
Okay, doing our first poll. I'm on my polls now. We know it's not Esme. Clearly, it's not her. Do you think the hook killer is ADA Arden or someone else?
I do like to call him the bartender. That is a nice touch of a character that's just been around on the fringes for a while.
Exactly. And so pretty always wears hoop earrings.
I mean, that's the equivalent of like the host at the Metro Court. I follow somebody that's just been in the background for a long time. I'm like, oh, they were here all along.
And Sandra Huling says, I want to be Maggie the nanny, which there's always that too. She comes to town to avenge for Esme, I guess, and it starts killing everybody. And that's a good storyline. If GS could write storylines like that.
Heck yeah. I mean, actually, that's a good call.
That's my call, Sarah. Sandra, I'm with you on that. I'd be fine. Right now, it's 60-40. Okay, people keep voting. We got 50 folks watching. Hit the like button while you're here, too. It helps us out a lot. All the stories are poorly threaded. Completely agree, DG. They don't keep things moving. GH is constipated. There's a word.
Yeah.
It stops. Then it starts. It stops. I mean, a hook killer shouldn't stop for weeks.
No.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, you can give us a couple of near-death ones we wanted to, or whatever. It's like, so we all know it's not Esme. I love Elizabeth. Well, it can't be Esme. What, Elizabeth? I just mean, I gotta run. I'm like, oh, that's not suspicious at all. No. I guess we can get to that part now because kind of that's the other stupid part of this whole kind of related part is the whole Finn, Elizabeth, Nicholas, Esme, Ava, that whole Victor, that whole thing. I want to pull my eyes out.
For Nicholas to be saying, like, hey, we're, sometimes, to be the hero, you've got to make these sacrifices. And, Nicholas there's been, there's no hero sense in all this. All his motivation has been stupid because he's like, I don't want to show Esme to anybody because I want to get Ava back. Oh, wait, she's pregnant. Oh, wait, if Ava sees Esme pregnant, that's going to make it even harder for me to get back together with her. The hook storyline was just a convenient excuse to be able to kind of keep her squirreled away. And Elizabeth's rationale for all of this is just also stupid as well. And then when it gets to the point on Friday where she has the meltdown with Nicholas that, she's flushed away everything for nothing. I'm like, really? How much did you really flush away? Right. But the pregnancy thing was the bridge too far for me on that one. That was the bridge. Like, come on, guys. Why are we going?
Everything Frank's saying, I'm totally agree with you. That's yeah. Everything you're saying, I agree with. I'm pregnant with what? What? I'm just like, oh my God. I really can't believe we're now doing a fake pregnancy to keep and then you got people moving in the house. You got President moving in and Victor. Somebody's gonna notice her. So and then that I forgot who Nicholas' assistant is or whatever, Rudolph or Victor, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah.
I brought these for you. I'm like, there's something going on there too. Is he taking a shine to her?
It's just like, come on. And I still don't understand why they just didn't get her out of the country. Still. Right. It's like that chopper can come back, Nicholas. It's not like a one-time only deal. You could have spirited her off away to Greece if you wanted to at any time.
See, everybody in this chat room, you're saying all things we feel about this story. I think everybody's agreeing on this storyline is just horrible. I haven't read anybody say anything good. So I think we all agree the storyline is horrendous. And the poll, oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you've got poll update.
Yes, so far it's 55-45. So it's not ADA, it's 50-55. So it's not a runaway victory. So it's very close.
Interesting.
Go end the poll there. Thank you guys for voting. That was good.
I will say the only thing that I was like, oh, maybe for me that came out of this whole thing so far is Friday when I saw Jordan with who comes in to see Finn and check in on him, and also talking about like wrapping up the stuff with Rory. But I was thinking like, well, if we're getting finally this Finn and Elizabeth thing, which has been terrible for the longest time, what do we do with Finn? Is there anything we could pair him with? And I was like, oh, Jordan. I never really thought of that. But hey, could a Finn Jordan relationship work? I don't know.
Well, there is the off-camera antics. The off-camera antics of Marcus Coloma that's been going around all over the Twitter sphere and IG sphere of him. I don't know if you guys know, if there's any updates, you can let me know if there's any updates, how he's not friends with anybody on General Hospital anymore except for Maurice Bernard. There are rumors that he's going to be the last one killed. There's been talk about Tyler Christopher, trying to get him back on the show. It's been a lot of stuff, Frank, this week. A lot of stuff out there.
I mean, I did see where I saw a little bit of Soap Twitter talking about that he was gone from the show. Yes, I mean, who knows if that's true or not? But,
right.
I know. I feel maybe because I'm not following or is dialed into the soap opera fan community. But boy, and I know Twitter's only a small cross section of that.
Right.
But boy, it didn't seem like many people were keen on him on Twitter. And for me, it's how they're writing Nicholas is doing zero favors.
Exactly, completely. It's like, I mean, seriously, there's nothing. I mean, he's being written so horribly.
Yeah.
Which is not the actor's fault at all. I mean, just how he's being written. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it. And Ava should be tired of him by now. It's like at this point, Ava should be she should feel so much whiplash from this whole thing. And she knows Victor is part of it. So I was like, are Victor and Ava gonna get married?
I don't know. I mean, you see, there's those little sparks there between Charles Shaughnessy and Maura West when they're in a scene together, and you're like, okay, could this go? Which I'm fine if you want to do something like that.
I guess I'm just like they really made us believe that Nicholas and Ava were two tortured souls who belonged together. Then they literally tore it apart.
And they really gave them no time together to actually do. Very rarely were they working together against a common problem. It was always something was trying to break up the relationship constantly. And they were just kind of, oh, hey, we have to let everybody else think we're being divorced, or it was a shame. We never really got to see. I don't think we got to see the relationship at its best for really any moment in time, really.
I think Rory pulled the earring off the killer. I pulled it
like a ripcord.
Yeah, it's like a ripcord. It's like a ripcord. Where I'm saying, what do you mean that? Well, I guess the hook. Who knows? No, we love Maura West. No, she did a great job. It's just, again, she's spinning shit into gold. That's what she's doing. It's shit. I mean, it's the writing. It's you scared me. I thought it was all behind her. All of a sudden, you didn't say nothing. Like, yeah, exactly. You got the killer on the loose. You just not saying nothing to nobody. I mean, it's. I don't know. I feel like, yes, I agree with you, DG. DG, you and I never agree on anything. We're agreeing on all kinds of stuff today. Victor is finally being written like a ruthless Cassadine. He is. They're starting to flesh out Victor a lot more, and I love the portrayal. But again, we have no idea, Frank, what the F he is doing. There's a big plan. We have no idea. He's just like messing with people. That's all he's doing right now. It's like, but what's the big plan? What's this coming soon? What's the big plan?
Yeah, it's been frustrating because I know we're going to be underwhelmed by whatever this plan is. which is unfortunate because we've been saying they've drug it out so long that we will be, and then I'm just waiting for the time when the revelation happens, and I'll be like, so, okay, and it's. Oh, yeah, because like with to go back to Ava, it's like the stuff with her and Nicholas could be. I wish that couple had a chance to have had at least a little bit of a better run.
I agree.
But then you see Ava, like any scene with Trina or anything like that. It's just that relationship is fantastic, and I enjoy watching the scenes of them together. And Ava usually it seems with anybody else doing whatever kind of stuff that they're mixed up to, and it's just it's a bummer when it gets with Nicholas because I was so excited about that coupling early, and now it's like the show, as usual, just knows how to just tease you with a really interesting pairing and then make you not care about them.
I.e., Austin and Maxie, i.e., Cody and Britt, I keep I.E.ing.
Yeah, I mean, even Portia and Curtis. Ugh.
Right. Oh, I know. Again, how can you root for them? She's lying to him, so how can you root for them? I mean, we have to wait 2 months till we find out. I remember the wedding's in 2 months. We got 2 months, Frank. We still just do this thing. Wait 2 months, kids. 2 months.
I mean, I guess. I mean, the only one that I'm intrigued by is like the Spencer Trina, but it's not the whole stuff with Rory was just just hiccups, things that could have been done better to make the storyline.
Frank, Albert brings up a point too. Wasn't Victor poisoned by Liesel, or not Liesel, but whoever it was?
From Holly and Miss Selena Wu, yeah.
I mean, he had a martini with Ava.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they never really, because Holly said it's not going to kill him; it's just going to make him wish he were. So I don't know when. Is it a really slow?
Yeah, like he's doing fine.
It's slow acting. Is it some kind of? Was there something in the liquid that he ingested? That's now like a detonator inside his body. Who knows? But you're right. Yes, that is something that's just dangling there.
It's right, Frank. It's a right, Frank. Especially Chase in Brooklyn. No.
Man.
Boy, did they take forever to get them together and really fast tear them apart.
Incredible. That is GH to me in a nutshell, where they will give you that couple. You're like, ooh, this is great. Get them together. Then you're right, James. They drag it out so long. And then they finally get together. And by that point, you're like, who cares? And then they immediately start breaking them all apart. I'm like, well, damn it. The breakup for this was just as manufactured and fake as all the delays in getting them together was.
Yes.
Oh, and it's like, dang it. Like, was that just the writing for that just lucky? Because JH had done such a great job. They just naturally built that up. It was just a slow, natural progression of that relationship to the point where you're like, I'm excited to see these two together. Clearly the show sees something. And then they just ruined it. I just don't know why. Why?
Well, I'll tell you, if I got to see another turkey walking around the Quartermains, I'm going to kill myself. So I don't know which is worse, them breaking them up in a turkey. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm like, I don't even understand. It makes no sense. I don't understand.
Yeah, for Chase, I understand Chase feeling hurt about this because this is his life. He wants to be a cop. He doesn't want to be a singer. I completely get that. But for him to like 86 this relationship, just like that, I'm like, really? I mean, all right. It just seems like you would be willing to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. Plus, if it's too late and they've made the ruling and now Chase can no longer be a cop, okay. I guess there's got to be consequences for Brooklyn's actions. But so now what do we do with Chase? Because clearly we know him being a musician is not something he wants. And he's not going to be that passionate about, which, okay. But now where do you put him? Does he become a private investigator? Do you start hanging out with Sam and Felicia? With Sam, Felicia, and Chase as your new private detectives. I don't know. It's such a bummer. I mean, that whole story. I mean, that was the other thing. Just Brooklyn's the stupid idea of keeping Link. Link is a character. Why isn't he getting hooked?
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for him to get hooked and say, okay, that'd be. I love that idea of him getting hooked. Love it.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like he would be like the next character to really throw it off the track, where it's not, because I mean, with Rory, I mean, it certainly was an accident, but it still happens to fall into the pattern of, could it be Trina related? You give me somebody like Link, that kind of throws it off the track. Like, now you're blowing it up a little bit wider.
Right.
But then again, yeah, true. With the Link, then how do you tie it in with say it was the ADA as well? I'm thinking, like, how do you tie it into that? I could see the ADA, losing her mind over that trial and wanting some revenge. But yeah, you throw Link into that. How does he, unless it's by accident, fall into the ADA if she were the hook killer? Her grievances.
Yeah, it's just like, as we talk about these stories more and more, I'm just like, they're really bad. Some really bad writing happening right now. Some really bad storylines happening right now. As you said, I'm like, I folks, I always have a lot to say, but you guys in the chat room, or basically, and for you guys are frank, I don't understand. I'm like, that. I agree with you guys completely. I'm like, everything you said, I'm like,
yeah. I mean, the weird thing too is, like, take for example the scene with Alexis and Gregory, where they're sitting outside enjoying a meal or a get together in the General Hospital break room area. But where there's like, they give Alexis that moment of, like, you're speaking for the audience as well, where she tells Gregory, I don't want every conversation of ours to feel like a TED Talk where you're explaining things to me.
Right.
And I'm like, yes, because again, a relationship they, like, I was kind of intrigued by, but boy, they killed any sort of interest in that.
Oh yeah, It's just
I know, and it's like, why would you do that? Why? Like, you made it. It's like, hey, great, Gregory Harrison, and cool, let's do this. Cut to, oh, what? Stop mansplaining to me. It's just
it could, because again, Gregory Harrison's a handsome, mature man. There is a whole, they could really, there's potential. There's such potential with him and Esme Gran. And Marlon saying he liked the last 2 weeks of GH. Of course, good. I'm glad. I mean, I watched it. I watched it. I didn't fast forward through any scenes or anything. I watched the last 2 weeks, but there are things that, to me, that are wrong. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm like, either doesn't make sense, or they're watering it down, or they're killing it early. I'm just like, I mean, the one scene. Let's talk about something I did like. We'll do a little balance.
Ooh,
right now,
right.
everything Frank, you're saying, I agree with you completely. I have nothing to counterpoint with. I did like the Ryan Heather scene. I have to give credit to Allie Mills. She's doing a good job. She's doing a good. I don't mind. Robin Manson already explained why she couldn't come back and everything. So I will go with her. And if they're Esme's, they let us know. They're Esme's parents.
I agree. And it's one of those where I'm like, Heather Weber is not like a character I feel like that aren't, even though I enjoyed Robin Matheson and her portrayal of it. But if they're going to give me a shout out for why this person's not going to come back, I would rather than recast the character, especially for story purposes, than like, oh, well, we can't have this character. Because then I feel we fall into the Jeff Weber of it all. Yeah. Where we just name check characters.
Had a little moment by Stephen Lars. Moment.
Stephen Lars.
Yes.
Oh boy. Unexpected that it was, but as soon as I saw that first scene of Heather reacting to Ryan, I was like, could it be that she's? And it was.
Did it. I was like, there you go.
There you go. One, I'm just glad that somebody else knows that Ryan can actually talk and speak, and it's not just Esme. Thank God.
Yes. And I like that it came out fast. There was no 5 weeks where we're still trying to figure it out. It's Heather the mother. It came out. I like the fact that she was like, "Oh, you found her? Oh, okay." And they filled everything in.
Yes, there was no like her trying to say like, no, it wasn't, and we have to spend like an episode of her just denying it until the very end. Where she goes, "You're right, she is."
Right. So it was good. But Captain, you're right. But yeah, I kind of agree with this part too. They had to throw in a piece of jewelry that we now need to find. When did Ryan keep trophies? Yeah, I'm glad Felicia's not Esme's mother. I'm glad Ava's not Esme's mother. I'm glad. Nope. I'm glad. Nope. I'm good.
Yeah. No. This is this will be interesting, and it. I will be curious to see. Interesting to see Ryan have a partner, which could be interesting. How long that partnership will last? Because Ryan is certainly he likes to punish if he's been slighted by anybody. Yes. So I feel like Heather's got some punishment coming up to her because she kept Esme away from Ryan. So whatever that means for Heather, but he still needs her at this point because he needs another ally to try to get out of here and try to find Esme. So interested to see how long that relationship lasts, how long they keep working together. What it's like when Esme finally realizes that this is her mom. Why Ryan? Also, why Ryan decided to lie to Esme about that?
Don't know. Yeah, we don't know. We'll find that out. But at least we got this part out. I want to mention another scene I liked. I'm trying to do the opposite, you guys. It's Christmas. It's Christmas week. I'm trying to bring my hat. I'm trying to do something to the other side of things. I don't make it so negative. Another scene I liked. Another scene I liked.
Searching.
I'm sorry. I'm searching. There were some scenes I did like. That's why I say I like a scene. There's like another part of the scene. I'm like, oh. I mean, it's good seeing Brad back, and Britt's going off the rails with his birthday thing. I was like, why would you tell Brad your best friend? So I feel like I like part of it, then I don't like part of it. Okay, I like the scene. It was a little implausible, but I did like it when Liesl broke down with Sonny. I mean, Kathy Gotti, our friend, great actress anyway. I did like they made a connection. He brought up Mike and the Alzheimer's and her falling apart, and she told Nina. So again, go back to your thing, Frank. Now somebody else knows, at least not just her, knows.
Yeah. It just gets, because GH likes to keep things so siloed in characters, and it just drives me crazy. It's like at some point we gotta widen the circle a little bit just to freshen up the scenes. I don't need another scene of just Britt and Liesl talking, even though I enjoy the pairing. We don't as much as we want, but it's like, give me a fresh dynamic that we can spin in there too and give us something different. So yes, I agree with you. That was another scene that I liked. It just, as you like to say, James, it played to history and just a nice connection of their shared traumas of loved ones that have come down with just kind of a uncurable illness. Much like I will say, to piggyback on that I, like you, a lot of problems with a lot of stuff surrounding it, but the scene with Drew and Willow out on the terrace.
Oh my God, no, Frank, I just wrote down to say Drew Willow. I just wrote that down right there. At least he was like, bitch, you're sick. I can totally tell. It reminds me of Oscar. And I was like, finally, Willow's walking around looking like death warmed over, and no one's noticing she's sick. Like, no one notices she's sick. But when he said, it played the history, I always say that, he said, so you kind of remind me of Oscar when he was, and since she goes leukemia, finally, shit.
It's so, that storyline kills me for Willow's, and because it needs to happen because of the stupid Carly of it all,
right?
Which kills me as well. But it's just like, to write Willow that she is so not wanting to share this illness with anybody. Right. You are in stage 4, and you need to survive to be with your kids, not try to worry about giving them just a few more weeks of happiness. That mindset just drives me crazy.
I know. Gotta stop for a second. Yes. Today we've had record numbers on every single show. We have 67 people in chat today. 67. Thank you so much. I know it's all because of Frank. I get it.
Oh no.
So we look at Frank Brand. I get it. It's fine. Okay, how do you get here? Just get here. But we only have 29 likes. So if you want to be kind, you hate us, can you hit the like button? It actually gives us more stuff. It gives us more visibility on YouTube for people to learn who we are and see the videos. It really does help. So I know some folks just watch, they don't do anything else, but if you could actually hit the like button, the thumbs up, we'll take it. We'll totally take it.
Yeah, like James said, even if you don't like us, hit the like button to give more people a chance to not like us.
Not like us, exactly.
Yeah, they can share your dislike of us.
I do have an announcement to make. I forgot to make this announcement, Frank.
Well, it's our last show.
That's it, Frank. Like Henry Cavill, this is our last time you're playing Frank Moreno. Frank, those fans went bonkers when they got that announcement. Bonkers. Oh, all these grown men. Kind of crazy. Anyways, another story, folks. Another story. So you guys, Frank, I've heard from and Leopardess. I got a private message from Maurice Bernard.
No.
Maurice Bernard says he knows who I am and wants to be on his show, State of Mind. Frank. That's going to change our lives, Frank, because they're gonna watch our show afterward and be like, who's this James Lott person? And he said he's booked through March, which I know how that is. But he said after March, I'm coming on the show.
Look at you.
And there's one thing more. Maurice Bernard has 200,000 followers on Twitter. He only follows 263 people, and now 264 follows him.
Look at that.
So a special message to Leopardess, who started the campaign 6 months ago or so, and the rest of you guys. So don't know when it's going to happen for sure, but I screenshot everything. I was like, oh my God. But he knows who I am, he said, and I'm going to be on the show.
I do like this. I know who you are, James.
And he said, like, Sonny, I know who you are. He goes, how you doing? And we talked for a little bit. So this is a big step for my career, and a big step for us because it'll help bring JLJ Media, this show, and then I'm going to ask him to come on my show with us.
Ooh. We'll see. Will he reciprocate?
Live on a Sunday. Can you come on with us? And actually, I'm going to tell you something before we return the favor.
My word. A particular discussion topic for you?
No, he knows there's several. I told myself I have several things we can talk about. I mean, we can talk about my Bell's palsy and my depression. We can talk about me being attacked. We can talk about all kinds of stuff. I have all kind of mental things I can talk about with him. I have a lot of stories. So I just want you guys. I want to tell you guys. Thank you to those who are out there who are bothering about it. Hi, Matthew and Jennifer, who are bothering about it. And Leopardess started the charge, so she's in the chat room. So I make sure I want to say it to you guys. So
look at you, James Lott Jr.
I know it's kind of crazy that he actually DM'd me, and I was like, so it's kind of crazy. So I make sure I say that. It'll be a good show, you guys. Trust me, I'll give you a good show. Don't worry, I'll give you a good show. You best believe I'll give you a good show. Don't worry about it.
Do you wear a Corinthos coffee shirt to that?
That's my. I have a mug. I have a shirt. I'm like because when I met Todd Bridges, I'm what Willis was talking about shirt. So I did do that with him. I did, and when I met Corey Feldman, I wore a Goonie shirt.
Oh,
so I did do that. So I don't know. So yes, I'm chocolate Santa. Thank you. I'm more like peanut butter Santa.
James, that is fantastic news. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. I got that yesterday. So I was like, wow, good. But I'll say I'm gonna give Leopardess to say thank you so much. But his show gets really. I love his show. Actually, I watch it. It's really good. So I mean, who knows? So we're gonna work it out. So yes,
Maurice came down your chimney, James.
Comes up, I can't even talk. It comes down my chimney. The song's doing very well, folks, actually. Texas Gal said you found this channel because of Luther and the Spring Up Plane event that I did. Yes, I was part of that also. The video, I think, is at 60,000 views, I think, or so at this point. Did you think it was a scam at first? No, I did. Look, I was like, whispered, I had a blue check mark, and it's him. So I'm actually friends with Corey Feldman now, so he's great. Like, give me a Zoom with Steve. I know Steve. I'm working on him. I'm getting there. I'm working on that. But anyway, so that's what guys. I want to make sure I tell you that. I forgot to say that. That was my big news yesterday.
That's amazing news, James.
Yeah,
Way to go.
And March will be here before you know it. March will be here before you know it. Caramel Santa. That's more like it. Tony will be chocolate Santa. Flo will be chocolate. I'm more like peanut butter, cinnamon. This kind of thing. Yes. So anyways, that's always mentioned that. Back to the show, but we want to thank you guys for liking the show and being here. Like I said, we come on here, and Frank and I love doing the show, so we're glad you're here. 65 people, I love it. You guys are watching. Okay, back to the show. Going in, we were talking about Willow and Drew and all that, and Carly. I want to mention the Carly thing because, again, killing relationships, Frank. When Drew finds out that Carly paid the chick, who was like, I can acquire about one twin, but one baby. I was like, oh my God, girlfriend. And Carly was like, what? She's like, what? I couldn't stop laughing. She's like,
and they were in that real break room.
Yes, the break room. I used to work here. I know all the stuff. It's a break room. No one's gonna be interrupted. They're not gonna break. I couldn't stop laughing. I could not stop laughing. It made me. I was like, but once he finds out, that's gonna ruin them also.
I mean, that's one of those things. Like, already we were out of the gate. We're coming. First, it was the insider trading, so we got to keep it a secret. And now it's this secret that's going to come out. And I mean, it's just like, okay, cool.
Because Michael will be mad at his mom.
Yeah,
he'll be mad.
Will he be back towards Sunny? Who knows?
Yes. And Nina will be pissed. Sunny will be pissed. Willow's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, they're at least starting a lot of those scenes where it's like, I'm so thankful for you. You have been so great to me. Scenes rather than just waiting for like 2 days before the reveal comes.
That's true. No, you're right. That's true.
We're just laying it out for a few months now, and then let it really rip. I
know. It's just saying. So I mentioned what I like, but then you have this other thing. You're like, oh my God, it's make me cry, you guys. I'm crying. It's like, they'll forgive Carly. We know that, I guess, but it's gonna be mad for a while. I mean, thank you, Shonda, for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. They're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad.
Yeah, well, because they always seem to spin it where at least Carly feels like she has justification for her reasons.
Right.
For this one, I think it's it's tough to kind of justify your way out of this. Right. Well, had I known that you were really sick, Willow, I certainly would have told you.
I know.
So if you hadn't been so secretive about your illness, then I could have, told you sooner.
I know. So, folks, here's the next poll, folks. Frank just walked into a poll. He walks into a poll. Is Carly any better than Nina? Yes or no? Let me know what you guys think. Because now it's like it's two wrongs make a right. So at this point, okay, is she anybody? Everybody's so hoity-toity about Carly being better than Nina. Nina's horrible. Well, I'm like, tell me, is she any better? Yeah. It's like, there's, and they go right, Frank. There's no justification. It's being petty. Willow is an adult.
It's frustrating, especially not that I'm the hugest fan of Nina, but the way that everybody looks down on her, as if they've not been in any sort of challenging moral or ethical situations. I feel like it's like everything's been very black and white for me my whole entire life. There's never been any kind of gray. So I will judge you now, Nina, because of that.
Yes. I just think, yes, Nina was wrong for keeping Sunny. But the situation was very interesting, but she was wrong. Okay, it's fine. But I'm just saying, but Carly is keeping a total secret as revenge against Nina. And it's just like, that isn't really, and you did it already with Nell, now you're doing it again. Like, it's like, it's not gonna make Carly look any better in anybody's eyes.
Yeah.
It's gonna make Carly, it's gonna make Nina look better. It's going to, and yeah, Michael's gonna hate both his parents. Because Michael loses out on the end, because he thinks Sonny did something crappy. Now he's gonna see his mother did something crappy.
It is harder for me to get on board with the Sonny hate than it is on the Nina stuff. I mean, because Nina, definitely did hide Sonny's, the fact that he was alive.
She did.
There's no hide to that. But for everybody just to be like, nobody's really just sat down and talked with Sonny about what it was like to have amnesia, to develop feelings for somebody you had no idea was somebody you already previously knew, but it became these really strong love feelings for them, and then have all your memories come back, but still have all those feelings, and you're wrestling between loving now two different women. And nobody seems willing to give Sonny like any sort of like, let me understand and see what that's going from. That really is a hard situation to be in. Like, no, you blew up our family. You cared about Nina more than you cared about us. Now you need to go to jail. I got to send you to jail.
And now the whole Dex thing is complicating everything. So, and I, sorry, girl. Steve Burton's on Days of Our Lives. He moved on. He's on Days of Our Lives. But no, I just think I like the character. I like Dex. I think Homeboy's hot, so I'm all in. I'm all in. And I kind of like that they're growing Joss up a little bit. And I actually kind of like that there's this kind of push and pull with her and Cameron. He's kind of left in the dark. He's like the wide-eyed innocent. I kind of like that. I do. I kind of like that. That's he's fine. I don't mind that part of the storyline. Like, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of working. But I want Josh to grow up a little bit and see what Nina had to go through with Sonny. Because look, I love the scenes with Nina and Josh too. Because Nina was like, "Come on in, girl. You can handle it. Come on in." And Josh was throwing shit at her, and she was like, "You can throw it if you want to." Because it's like there's no. Josh needs to get over herself.
Yeah.
But kids are brats. When they're young, they're brats. No, and both days and GH. You think he's Wally Kurth?
I mean, certainly, I feel like this storyline with Dex and Cameron will at least get Joss to realize, like, oh yeah, wait a minute, maybe a little humbling for her.
Yes. I'm liking it. So I'm liking the whole thing, the push and pull. It's classic soap. It's totally classic soap. You feel bad for Cameron. And you're right, Luther. Joss is learning that life isn't always black and white. I think when you're young, you think everything's black and white. You think everything's just like, you learn in shades of, I mean, me and Frank have our own relationship, and it's gray.
Yeah.
Total gray, Frank.
Just really nice and dirty gray. I like it.
It's gray. Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, it is interesting though, where I don't know. I mean, certainly as children, everybody's more empathetic, but as you get into adulthood, the empathy seems to go away towards.
It does. Like, where to go? Except for Christina, she's fine, I guess. And him and Dante got together better. So, I got that. But I don't mind the Joss stuff. I kind of like it. I think that, and I think it's also cool that Joss is a bit like her mom. That makes sense. I mean, her mom.
I would agree, but I also like that it's different because she didn't have the childhood that Carly had.
Exactly.
So, or Caroline, it's a totally different
I agree.
Experience. So she's not going to make those same types of mistakes. Because she certainly didn't come to town with an agenda to ruin her birth mother and all that stuff.
She didn't know. But see, that's the whole thing that her and Nell had in common, kind of like similar in common in that whole famous scene all stuff. So no better than Wally J. It's like to yourself, I'm joking with you, Lebanese. You know that. But I don't mind. I like that. You're right. They looked at their potential. So I feel like you said dirty gray, not the same dirty gray in here. Gray's always dirty. But I like this potential. Oh my God, this is crazy. But yeah, there's potential. I think there's potential. And yeah, there was a funny line, Daisy Flower, when Josh said, of all of Sunny, what's it, John? I forgot to say, of all of Sunny's girlfriends, you're my favorite. I forgot who said that.
Yeah. Yes.
That was funny.
You know,
I'm part of a long list. You act like I'm part of a long list.
I mean, Sunny needs a right-hand man, and in absence of Jason, for whatever reason, story-wise, real life wise, that character is not available. We need somebody to fill that void. And so I'm always down for, I love the legacy characters, and I want them to be able to still have storylines and still be relevant to the show. Yeah. But we also need to keep injecting some new lifeblood into the series as well. So to have a Dex in there, great. I mean, he's going to be filling a role similar to Jason of sorts, at least position-wise. But in terms of a relationship with Sunny, relationship with Sunny's family and friends, it's all going to be different because he doesn't have Jason's life experience. So it's not going to be an exact replica.
Yeah. Sherry, I didn't hear. I agree. Some of the other, why not kill their younger cast? So it's nice to see a younger cast. You need multi-generational storylines. I'm saying that over and over again, if done well. You need multi, and Sunny has to have some underlings. That's just part of his business. He has to have some. So having Dex as part of that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, I'll take that. But they need to have it in there. And yes, there was a scene. Some of you guys said you liked it. I think that was dumb. Spencer punching Dex.
That came out of nowhere. I mean, that was certainly the scene, and then that afterwards, where because Cameron yelled at Spencer, he felt like, oh, Cameron hates me now, so there's no reason for me to stay in this town. Like, no, dude, you blew your top and you hit a guy for really no reason.
No reason. I was just like, because I like the Spencer Cameron relationship that's been developing. I love it. I love when Laura hugs both her grandsons later. I love that whole thing. But it's just kind of like, but I'm glad Dex didn't go after him. It was just like, I'm letting it go. Here you go. But he's like, your uncle pays me well. He pulled the wad of 20s. I was like, oh, go on, Dex. Dex has some money. That's some money, honey. Doing that. And just Josh is sitting with her mouth open. But again, then the talk with Trina was very nice. After that, they had a simple talk on the bench about life. But then they got called to go to the hospital. They all four of them got called to go to the hospital and we'll tell them about the hook. So it's just like, again, they'll mix some good stuff in there. They're like, oh, I like that part. But then it's like the surrounding stuff. It's like a chicken pot pie. The innards are good. The crust can be iffy. Depends on the crust.
It's true. I did like the Spencer and Cameron sitting at the table talking in Kelly's, and you see Dex in the background kind of standing up to kind of look into the kitchen.
He can wait. That's why he goes, just go tell him he can wait. I did chuckle when that happened. Totally chuckle. Yes, their family, they grew up to be friends. I completely agree with that. Go light your first candle, Lori. See, happy Hanukkah to you. We'll see you again. I know because you must be ahead of time because it's sundown. Yeah, for you, sundown wherever you are. Yes, it's only 2:20 here, so I'm like, go to here. Yes. But I think I kind of love Spencer on some level because he's such a kind of just, now he's like an anti-hero, so to speak. He's like this like, I'm a screw up on this, on that, and they all react to Spencer. And I kind of like that a little bit. He's kind of growing out of the bratty stuff, and I think he is growing up a little bit. It's gonna take some time for him, but I think he is growing up a little bit because he's dealing with all this serious stuff.
And it is interesting with the mingling of the Spencer Cassadine clan with Laura, it kind of being the intersection. Certainly, she wasn't there to raise Nicholas during his early years. Didn't come into him until he was a teenager. Right. But I thought the interesting thing there was to see how Laura's effect on Nicholas changed how he interacted with the Cassadine family in the larger sense. Yes. And now you take Spencer, who Laura's been more involved with, and in some ways a bigger part of life than Nicholas has been, and how that effect on Spencer can also change how he interacts with the Cassadine family. I'm more excited to see that than even Nicholas, because he's got more of Laura's kind of like parentage in him than Nicholas does.
Yes, Spencer's a hothead. Yes, that's the point. It's that but you also feel for him because because he did grow up in this weird childhood, so to speak. For first, he was given everything, so he was a spoiled brat. and things were taken away from him. I mean, his father did lie to him about being dead. I mean, that's obviously some trauma. But you're right. Spencer was nurtured by Sonny, some level, and he's been with Laura, and he has all these uncles, which I love. I love that whole thing. I love that Laura. I love Laura's back because I love that she's no nonsense. She doesn't place her fools lightly. She don't give an F. She don't trust Victor as much as she can throw him, which I love that. She loves Nicholas, but she's like, she's tough on him too, and same with Spencer. God, the whole thing of, so do you believe that Spencer got out on good behavior? But I was like, no. I love that Laura was like, no. That made me laugh. That, to me, that's a good grandmother. It's like, I know the truth. I know what's going on with my family. But she's like, no. I laughed so hard when she said that. She's like, no.
No, because what I like about Laura is that she loves, but she does not excuse.
Exactly.
And she will call you out.
Yes, she will.
She'll still love you, but she will call you out when you've done something wrong.
Yes. And also, we gotta mention Vanna. We gotta mention Martin showing up. Martin. It's an old reference, folks. You guys know that one. And he shows up, and that agent shows up. And the knockout, that was just like, okay. But he shows up, and Vanna, they're all into each other. Now, no reason it took forever to get started, but now they're all into each other on the run in Amsterdam. Out front, my family was from Amsterdam. It was a little cheesy, they were doing the windmills, whatever. You can show me not Amsterdam windmills or whatever, but still. Anywho, but I think it's very interesting that they're really going forward with the relationship while they're on the run, and then Martin's show was hilarious.
I would say the only thing I'm bummed about with that storyline is that they let Martin kind of stay behind with the agent, and then get taken back into custody. Because I really would have loved Martin to been on the run with them, just because it's Michael E. Knight. The chemistry he would have had with the three of them would have been interesting. Right. He could just be in another room while they're still getting their freak on. I would have loved for him to have been more mixed in the adventure.
Yes, exactly. I think it would have been fun to have the three of them on the run.
Yes,
it would have been really wonderful, and they didn't do that.
Yeah, it was such a bummer. I was excited when it was Martin that showed up. I was like, yes, this is great. And then they wrote him out right at the end of that episode. I was like, man, I really wanted him going with.
I know. Yes, Luther worked on Martin from 1992 to 1994. How funny. So again, the show is like 20, 30 years old, folks. But I'm not making this shit up. Like it's an old. I said it's an old reference. Yes, because Martin was looking for Lucy. I mean, I think he likes Lucy a lot, and he feels for her. And Lucy's out there somewhere, and I'm like, but I love that Vanna is very realistic. They're like, we don't know where we're gonna find her. Like, where is she? But I was thinking, well, does he take everybody to Castline Island over in Greece or whatever? Does he do that? No.
You would think that would seem to be
right.
I can't imagine that Valentine wouldn't be able to kind of figure out some other Cassadine haunts that she might be ensconced in. I don't think it's going to be somewhere new. It's got to be somewhere that Cassadine already owns.
Yes.
So you'd think you'd be able to dial into that. But I would like them. I hope it ends with them finding her.
He's just gonna shoot Martin. He's dirty. I know. I was laughing. He was like, "What? I mean, you can't kill me." Martin goes, "Well, you should need. You should need." I did chuckle when he said that. I was like, "Dang, not should need." I mean, that's kind of cold. Yes, Martin could regroup with them. They wanted Martin to find Lucy. Martin, it would have been fun. It would have been fun. I think we all agree it would have been fun together. The three of them, it would have been magic. Vanna's only come having sex. That's true. They're the only ones having sex.
No, that's just because I feel like having Martin there interjects a bit of levity into those scenes as well. And always nice to see, to be able to see James Patrick Stewart and Finola Hughes have a bit of a light touch in scenes as well.
It is fun. Again, I'm for them. I'm in. I'm in. I'm completely for them. I'm just glad they finally got to them. But speaking of other couples, and we move around a little bit. Speaking of other couples, Austin and Maxie being pissed about the whole Spinelli situation and talking to Cody about it.
That was stupid. Because I also like that she doesn't really, trust Cody as well. And rightfully so, because he's a dud.
Right.
But I think everybody's realized that, the Maxie Austin situation wasn't working. I mean, I really hope they're using this as a reason they got to break him up. And, it's a shame that Britt is leaving because, like we've talked about, the Austin Britt connection is so good.
I agree.
This would have been a much better pairing. It could have been for a better storyline, but
I agree.
Sadly, that won't be happening.
Nope, it'll be happening.
But I hope this is not Maxie, like that we're going to see her change her tune, in a few weeks or days. Like, I'll give Austin another chance, especially once Austin read the results of the society setups and realized, like, oh, you guys aren't a match. So why is Austin going to try to force that?
Yeah. I know, Sherry. I'm with you. I want Spixie back. I want Spinelli and them back. Yeah. And the best part of Spinelli saying to Maxie when she said, "Leave the hospital," and he says, "I'm coming with you," and she says, "Yes, you are."
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. I mean, but then see, we go. So you mentioned Britt and Austin with the chemistry and their friendship, but I get pissed because Austin's is a Quartermain that's not being used in the Quartermain orbit.
That's true. That's like a whole. I mean, there's so much storytelling potential right in there.
There's so much. They're not doing it.
Yeah, I would love to see, like, if you get Brooklyn and Chase together and get them involved with Austin, and they get sucked into whatever is going back in Pawtuck, the Austin family drama. That would be much more interesting.
Which, again, that's like 10,000 years old also.
Yeah.
That's been dragging along since time began.
I would rather see that than trying to deal with Brooklyn songs and Link, any of that at this point. Just give me something different there, please.
I agree with that too.
Because it's like, once you take away Britt and once you take away Maxie from Austin, what else is there? And so if they kept the Quartermain stuff going, boy, it sure would be, much nicer to be able to have, and Austin could just be bouncing along with that stuff. But I will give it up for Maxie, at least having that conversation with saying that, oh yeah, these are red flags. And I excused a lot of red flags that I saw with Peter. And so now I've got the first red flag from a guy from Austin. I can't be that stupid again to seriously just, let it pass.
Yes, there's, it's everybody in chat's like, she should be single for a while, tend to those kids. Yeah. I kind of agree. It's like, I always said it was too soon for her to get embraced. I mean, she just went through this whole traumatic thing with Homeboy. Why is she gonna be with Austin? I still don't chemistry between them anyway. But I kind of think she's realizing I need to look out for myself, and because I went through this, I saw these red flags. I like that. Again, some woman power. Sure, I'll take some woman power, some female empowerment with my lunch. I mean, sure, why not? I mean, that's what I would love for her to choose herself. And it's go okay. And like I said, if Britt wasn't leaving, have Austin go with Britt. I was up, but it's
yeah, no, that is because, I mean, if you look at Max, I mean, she went from losing Nathan to being with Peter to now, having everything blow with Peter to now being with Austin. There's been zero time for her to just to be like, I need to just chill by myself and just figure out what's up with me.
Right. And Julie, I'm with you too. Like, what is the whole thing with his cousin? Who is he working for? What's going on? Like, it's dragged on for, I don't even know if I care anymore.
I trust you if you don't care anymore.
Don't trust you, James. I'll just decide for you. You don't care.
You don't care.
I mean, seriously. I mean, it's the pacing of so many stories. I understand large cast, but I feel like there should be more of a rotation. It's like there must be some kind of rotation, and they're not doing it. They're just not doing it. They're not doing it. There's just no rotation. Many folks think Britt's gonna be back. So go ahead.
I hope that would be great. If please bring her back. I mean, they're really ramping up her Huntington's right now, so to see what kind of storyline they'd have for when she come back. But to go to what I was saying is, like, I miss the storytelling like in the 90s. And just for an example where you could just see the rotation characters in a big storyline, and then as it winded down, they were kind of on the back burner for a little bit, and then you got other characters kind of came up and bubbled up, and they got their story. And I love the way that you can just kind of tell, like, oh yeah, this is kind of a wrap up for these characters, and they're going to be quiet for a little bit, and that's cool.
Yes.
We're going to see these other people kind of rise up now and get their shot.
I know. There's Matthew Theo from 10th Floor GH in the chat.
Coming in, all handsome.
His beard, his deep voice.
That's right.
Voice. He's our competition. What are you doing here? I'm just kidding, of course. We love Matt and Kat. We love them. So hi, Matt. He's in here. It's I can't get it out. I want to love General Hospital. I seriously want to love it. I do. I want to love it. And there's glimpses of things that are like, that's nice, love that, like this. They're capable actors, Frank. A lot of the actors can act. We know they can act when given storyline. My biggest problem, though, is pacing of the stories and the writing of the stories. I just literally, as I said, you build this whole thing up for a year and then you break them up a month later. They had no real happiness. With the Britain, it's just all these, it just looking like different couplings and couples that are almost was and not really there, and you're not showing us Jocelyn and Cameron still together, really, not really. You're full on the deck, like, oh, screw him, but now we're all decks. But we gotta wrap that up story. We gotta wrap him up too, though, because they are still together technically. It's like it's all these afterthoughts. Like, I mean, I'm just wondering what's going on. I mean, there's some of the the pacing is just killing me. It's really I'm trying to remember storylines. I'm trying to remember, like, oh, what was that again? That happened. What happened? I'm losing it.
I mean, we've seen Gladys already make a call to Selena Wu's people about go gambling one night. So, I mean, we're waiting for that to get picked up on and for her to lose all of Sasha's fortune.
Right.
That's just about around the corner.
Around the corner, and it was Selena Wu. Even at that storyline, she is well liked by fans. Everybody wants her. She can really be brought into, and they're not even utilizing her enough. They bring her in. They bring her in when they can.
It's true, and it's all the stuff with Curtis going on. Whether are they trying to play up the angle that Curtis has been so focused on Trina and this hook killer taking care of his family, they just kind of neglected the Savoy, the finer details, and so Selena Wu is just kind of just slid her way more into stuff. I have no idea.
Well, we got Hat Daddy may not be schizophrenic. So we got that storyline out there, just kind of out there. Where's Epiphany? Is she a doctor? Like, what's going on?
That's true. She took a test. We never found out how those tests went.
How did tests go, girl? How'd she go? What's going on? And so we got that. It's I guess the whole thing out there. Jordan did sign the RSVP. She's going to the wedding. Of course she's going to the wedding. She's going to stop the wedding.
I thought she declined. Did she decline?
I thought she said. Did she decline? She wrote decline.
I thought she wrote declined.
Maybe she did. Maybe she did, folks. I had COVID brain. Maybe she did. Okay, whatever.
I also thought Curtis was stupid for asking her, like,
right.
It's like, why would you expect your ex-wife to go to your wedding?
Right. I have a feeling she's going to be there because it's going to come out. It's going to come out at the wedding. It's going to come out. And Willow is going to get sickly, and it's going to come out.
Ugh.
I think Cardi's going to be so forced to tell. I mean, she is.
Well, yeah. I mean, how much longer can Willow hide it?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just right. I get it, folks. She declined, but she's gonna be there. Don't worry, she's gonna be there. Mark my words. Jordan Ashford's gonna be at that wedding. Again, where's Molly? Speaking of Ashford's,
yeah.
There's no Molly. TJ's even been on for a while. Like, just rotated him out.
And I mean, when's the last time we ever saw, Lucas? Never, we did a recast of Lucas that lasted for like one episode, maybe two.
Yes.
Never saw the guy again. So,
okay, I'm doing a poll. Are Finn and Liz dead as a couple?
I hope so. Don't you?
I want to. I want them. They're dead. I'm asking the people in the chat. My poll number 3. You know these polls. Tell me what you think. Are Liz and Finn dead as a couple? I'm saying yes. You're saying yes. I think they need to move on. I think they need to move on. I think it's when their last couple of talks. I mean, he's lied. She's lied to him again about the. I mean, just how did he come back from that? Yes, someone mentioned the whole Ava and Nina becoming friends after she carved the baby out of her, maybe going to labor or whatever. I get it. But I feel like with these two, they're so incestuous. Finn's been with both girls, Hayden and Liz.
Yeah.
Like, hello. And his father's wife, Jackie, his stepmother.
That's true. What if Finn, to get back at Jeff Weber now, goes after Denise Crosby?
Hey, why not? Should we give her something to do? That's right. I want her in the Star Trek uniform. That's why I want to do it. Right. But I say it's so incestuous. They're also, I mean, like, and Violet is actually Jeff's granddaughter, where we don't even mention. I mean, there's just so much. But Finn and Alexis had a little thing, kind of, and it went to fruition. Now she's talking to his dad. It's all weird.
Yeah.
I feel like they've written them all into this messy corner.
What are the odds we see Jeff Weber again?
I don't know. He might come back. I can see them bringing him back.
But you know what? The bummer is that it's a character that has been name checked so many times, and we've been wanting to see that character come back. To be so underwhelmed by his return. That it's just like, now we're at a point like, I don't care if this character comes back again. I'm fine. And that's a bummer. That is a bummer.
Right.
Because there is a lot of stuff there that you can do.
Hi, everybody. 74 people watching. 74. Thank you. And it's an 80-20 split. One there. 80-20. 80 for yes, they're dead.
I admire the 20 that are still fighting.
Yes.
Keep hope alive.
Finn is a snooze. He has become a snooze. We need Lucky back. That's another story. Finn has a savior complex. Just needs to be alone.
It's tough. I mean, ultimately, if I had my way, it would be Michael Easton would leave, and his character from One Life to Live,
John McBain.
Yes, McBain comes flying back in. I would rather have that character in, because boy, I loved when he was on the show.
Yes. So, folks, speaking of that, I have a One Life to Live after show, so you can actually listen to that on any streaming service platform, audio. I have 3 episodes out right now. They're doing very well, so thank you for you guys for listening. Check it out wherever you get your podcast. Look up One Life to Live after show.
How many episodes are you covering in a podcast?
What episode?
Just what? I mean, you're talking about
what I'm doing is, like I do with my Dallas ones, I just talk about a subject.
Oh, got it.
The last episode I put out was on Asian Blair. You guys remember, Blair was Amerasian first, and then Cassidy Pirate came in. So I talk about the whole storyline, whether she was Asian. And then I did an episode on why I like Why to Live. So I pick characters and storylines. I may do an episode here and there, but I'm not gonna do scene. I'm gonna do episode by episode.
What are you talking about, John McBain?
Yeah, well, he might come up at some point. Nora Buchanan, Dorian Lord, all this, Vicky, Nikki, Bess, Tess, all those things. I'll be talking about all of that on the show.
Cody's character on One Life to Live.
I actually liked him on that show. I liked him.
Walked around in his little Speedo.
Yeah. Yes. Do one of your top 5 villainous acts. Do one of your top 5 villainous acts. I know Matthew is doing other side things too. Bye, David. See you later. Matthew went online the other night and did his 5 top villains of GH. Think he did, Frank?
For the year or ever?
Oh God, Matthew, were they forever or for the year? I didn't really watch the show. I kind of saw it. I think I liked it. I didn't really look at it. I was like, I saw he's on doing it. I was like, okay, go on, Matthew. But I wasn't sure. I think we did top 5 characters. I can't remember what it was. Do I foresee doing a guideline after show? Are you Candace Mack? Are you working for Candace Mack? You asked me that question. but that of the last 5 years, Frank.
Oh, last 5 years. Okay. Well, I mean, you're gonna do what?
I left a comment. Well, of course, of course, I leave comment. Make sure I help you guys out. Leave comments and like and subscribe. Everybody, we go our channels. Like, subscribe.
Because you're doing your Ryan's Hope after show, right?
And Edge of Night. Oh, Chandra, I'm doing a story. I'm doing one on RJ. Actually, I'm doing an episode on the importance of RJ for me. So it's funny you mentioned that. That's coming up. But yes, yeah. So Matthew's doing that too. So we're starting to do little things. So Rhea Roberts, I know another one. Mark. Yeah. Anyway, so much that. Watch to live. I'm doing that. So I have a whole. That'll go on forever. All kinds of exciting stuff coming from that
one. I know one of the storylines has been teased, and I will tell you that right now that I have zero interest in the storyline. And this is giving an example of GH never getting to it, and I'm absolutely fine with it. Is whatever happened in Cody and Dante's past. That if anybody ever found out what we were up to back then, I don't need to know. I don't know. It's I
don't either. I don't give two shits. I don't care either. Yeah, nope. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I gotta read this out loud. Matthew says I'm warming up to do a Star Trek one, but that's off topic. Don't read it out loud. Of course, I'll read it out loud. Come on, Matthew. I'm gonna read it out loud. You're gonna try to compete with my Picard season 3. I'm gonna do on my channel. What's going on there? We'll see. But yes. Like say, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to that. Yes, I agree. Something happened. Back in his past, he's not that innocent. I don't care either. I don't care. I go, okay. So goes, oh, Frank, they will tell for sure, or Sam will uncover it in January.
But she doesn't have to. Let this be another time where Sam really wasn't great at being a private detective.
She's not a fan of Cody. You're not a
fan. I mean, James, I know we've been chatting for a while, but as I know, like what is one storyline, one character pairing that you really enjoyed out of this year, 2022, for General Hospital?
That's a good question and a tough one. Well, I mean, I'm in love with, because he's beautiful, Chase. Josh Swiggy's my man. And Donald Turner with the little gray beard goes action going on. And go on, Donald, with that gray beard. I like them. The story that I really enjoyed this year. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know if I have one. I mean, they're all, what's funny is Cyrus. Okay, I will. You mentioned Cyrus. The character of Cyrus Renault, I grew to like him a lot. I think Jeff Corbett did interesting work. So I'm actually going off of Matthew. I'm glad you reminded me of that. Any scenes with Cyrus and Laura, or Cyrus and Martin, and even the Cyrus and Spencer stuff, and the Cyrus and Victor stuff, he just adds so much to every scene. So I will say my favorite character so the last year has been Cyrus Renault. I will say I will go with that. And also, yes, Peter died this year, which was the thing that makes me happiest in the world to come. The world to come, the world to come, the world to come. Shame you mentioned his name. And my presence, you all know how much I hate him. But that was a glorious moment when Anna said, "I'll let you die." Monique Abram, I watched Banshee from beginning to end. That was one of my favorite shows. I love Banshee. That was on Stars. Love that show. But yes, anyway, but that's I guess I would say with that. What is yours?
Cyrus is a really good call. I would say I feel like this year it's tough. As always, because connected to storylines I may not have enjoyed, but in terms of at least characters, I did appreciate it seems a more investment that they made in legacy characters, whether it be having Felicia a little bit more involved, Mac a little bit more involved, even Robert a little bit more involved. I wish some of the story beats and scenes that they were in were better. But just the fact that they were given more to do this year, I really appreciated.
Yeah, that's a good one too. They used the veterans pretty nicely in some of the storylines. I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, because for as excited as I get about that, then you give me a scene of this week with or Valentine and Felicia in the Metro Court, where Felicia's not supposed to reveal that she knows where Anna is, and she's just giving those eyes to Valentine, like, that I would know where Anna is. Like, okay, that's a terrible scene. Okay.
Yes, and I feel like that's the theme, Frank, for me this year. For every there's something surrounding it that I don't like.
Yeah.
And Robert and Diane, that's another great one too. But again, will we see anything out of that? And Marlon Wallace, this is for Frank Moran. Max Scorpio coming out of the pool, best moment of the year. Remember that? And Fish was like, that's my man. Fish was like, yeah, bitches, this is my man. Walked on over, didn't she, in a towel? He's like,
That's Silver Fox, man.
Silver Fox.
He's got it going on.
He did it. I think in real life he's like 57 or 58. He worked it out.
I would equate GH to like one of those sweet and sour jawbreakers. Where you get that layer sweet, you're like, oh, this is good. And then you get hit with that little sour layer, and you're like, whoa. You got to work through it. You get back to the sweet. I feel like that's my relationship with GH during the year.
You know what? That I think I will go with that. Again, I'm being Frank today, and I'm a lot of you guys are in the chat too. Like today, I just don't agree with you people, but you guys are all saying. I mean, I think we all agree. The show needs attention, and it does need. I'm hoping in 2023, as it reaches its 60th year, folks, it's heading towards 60. I hope the storylines get better. I will. I'm gonna keep watching. I want them to be better. And like I said, I've heard things, so I don't know. I mean, maybe the show won't survive after its 60th. Maybe it will. I don't know. But it's just it needs. I think it needs some shoring up and some kind of organization. I think is what it needs. So.
Has the stuff you've heard about, is that recently or still like a while ago?
Some while ago and some recently. I know. So I'm like, I don't, It's just like, okay, I'm gonna keep watching as long as it's on. I'm gonna keep watching. I mean, I'm not gonna stop watching it. I mean, I do want to keep watching it. But I really do think the show needs an overhaul. I don't know who's gonna get it. They don't conduct focus groups anymore. They don't care. They don't care what we think. That's the whole thing. They don't do any of that stuff. They don't have behind the scenes participation with fans. They just don't. That's all cut out. They don't really care.
What do you think, James, the odds are that they would go a streaming route before canceling it outright?
I would pray for that. I have no idea. It's ABC Disney. You can go on Disney Plus. You can easily go on Disney Plus or Hulu easily. And just be there. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. They do. Right, Mark. They need a storyline consultant. They do. I know a lot of folks like Steve Burton comes back and will save everything. It won't save everything when he comes back. It's not going to save everything. And again, I don't want him back unless they write him a good story and not sacrifice everyone else to give him a good story. There's a way to do it. He's tied to almost everybody on the show. So you can give him a good story. So I'm saying, bringing Steve Burton back is not going to save anything. It'll bring a couple of viewers back possibly, but we need good story. And it's unfortunately, I don't know how else to increase it, the views or whatever. I don't know how to increase the views. It needs better writing. It just does. I heard Dancing with the Stars ratings gone down since they went to Disney Plus. I heard. I didn't watch Dancing with the Stars myself. The first season I didn't watch. So I didn't watch it. But Days of Our Lives, I heard, is thriving on Peacock. I heard Peacock is thriving with Days of Our Lives. That their subscription services went up by I think like 2 million or something. Like it just I heard Days is doing very well over on Peacock. And Days is writing the shit out of that show. Trust me, they're doing everything with the kitchen sink in there. And apparently it's working. They have a gay scene, they have black folks, they got interracial, they got bisexuals, they got everything going on over there. They got everything going on over there.
This cast is big enough that, as we talked about many times, that they really should start using that to its advantage and start telling shorter, faster storylines and rotating amongst the cast at a much faster pace than they're doing right now.
I agree. So, folks, what they have is they have storyline consultants. They have what they call storyline consultants. They have the actual script writers write the scripts. They have storyline editors. They have all these people that are supposed to be all these checks and balances. But that's the medium is dying. It is dying because literally soaps are everything. I mean, soapy content is now everything. Nighttime shows, sports, wrestling. It's all soaps. Not calling it soaps. That good point, Frank. They could use a cast to do fast storylines. I don't know why they don't do that. I don't know why they don't. It's. I don't know. I mean, I'm just telling you. Not all the three remaining soaps on TV all have problems. They all have problems. I didn't see it. You see, spoiler, just shout out to Days. I didn't. Did the Sprina banner catch such ABC higher ups? Yes. I've not seen Steve Durden's debut. Yes, Frank's shorter stories. What was I say? Go back to it. These questions are coming at me. There's the banner. Well, I'll tell you something. The Taraya banner, I heard directly from CBS executives, they completely got to them. They know between my shows. So Frank, my interviews with Taraya are at 100,000 views on this channel.
Wow.
That's three of them. And it's like a couple other shows I done on them. So 100,000 views. And they were like, wow, James, can you tell it? They actually called me and asked me, why this couple is big? So I explained it to them. Then we did the banner. They flew over a thing right after Sprina's. It caught the attention. So I'm letting you. So I know CBS knows for sure. ABC, I'm not sure. ABC is much bigger because ABC Disney. It did catch the attention. So Sprina banner did catch the attention of the cast and the producers of ABC. So they got it. So they got it. But I keep trying to tell people, I don't think it's going to change anything. Frank is over budget, so they have to keep the budgets low because he has all these new sets and things to try and keep that together. So large cast, got to pay them. Large cast, and they're not even getting paid what they used to get paid. And it's ad revenue, it's ad space. Nothing is really changing on that end, and we're not getting new viewers. You're not getting the look at the rate. I'm not getting this up. Look at the ratings; they're not that big. Not like they used to was. These ratings are like. Yes, the ABC network says to retweet the banner. Yes, ABC. I'm on the ABC General Hospital pages, all that stuff. But it's not going to change anything, you guys. It's not going to change anything. It's they know Sprina is popular. They know all of that stuff, but they have their own. It's a corporation. It's all down to money.
Yeah, and it's a different storytelling structure than it is for an episodic series where you're doing, especially in these days where you only have like 11 to 13 episodes. Exactly. Very rarely. Yeah, I mean, you have to do your Law and Orders, but they're not as heavily serialized.
I agree.
That are getting like 22 to 24 episodes. And so it's a different structure, but that's where I feel like you got to make advantage of that larger cast. And with the shorter storylines recycled spread out amongst the cast, you can compete with those shock and awe moments that you would get in those shorter, 11 episode series. You can compete with that. You can do it. It's possible.
Well, the thing also, what Days that was brilliant, they have Beyond Salem. They took that large cast and brought them over there for these little miniseries and brought back old cast members mixed in. So it's kind of like it's very much like that's what GH could do too. GH Night Shift, GH whatever. They had spinoffs before. Like kind of show us those and kind of use some cast we haven't seen in a while. And I think that could help.
For sure. I mean, any of those actors, I'm sure, would love to. So many characters in this in GH have storytelling potential. They just need to be written, and I know the actors would just probably eat up having like quality storylines to work on, or more, just at least more entertaining, where the twists and turns and revelations are happening at a much quicker clip.
Yes. Yeah. This I just saw what you posted. You sent me. It's like the top streaming services or whatever. Yeah, I was saying there could be some spinoffs. Oh, I agree with that too. They need better. They need. I've been saying this for a long time. I feel like they need female. I need a female head writer, or a big female producer. They have female directors and stuff. They're doing great work. Alison Ringsmith is great and all that. But I feel like we need somebody. I feel like it needs a new touch. I feel like all the soaps need a new touch on some level. Bold just did something very bold this week and made the women choose themselves in a triangle. That was very bold for them to do that. And we loved it. Brailer, as we call him now. They said, Rich, you can't have both of us. And they walked out. And I loved it. But that's so rare about what's going on out there. And I just feel like the soaps need something. And what's happening right now is not working. We need Love in the Afternoon. We need those romance couples. We need the romance. That's what people are tuning into. We need the romance. We need some good espionage stories, some good company stories. Like they have written them before that were good. We need mystery. We need comedy. Like there needs to be a balance of something. Like you said, if we could do shorter stories, some of these things would be great. But I think it's time. All the shows have male head writers, male head producers, executive producers. I feel like it's time to get some women in there. I just really do. I don't know if it's going to help or not, but I feel like we need something to just juice it up a little bit, just something a little different, because soaps came from women at first. And I'd be curious to see what they would write now. What kind of stories would we get if we had female head writers and stuff?
Yeah, because I'm fine with a longer story amongst a bunch of stories that are being told at a faster pace. If you want to take one, kind of slow roll it to build to something, 4 or 5 months from now, and it's going to tie into stuff, great. But give me other storylines that are moving faster and getting me more, so that I'm still enjoying what I'm watching on a daily basis, while I'm still being teased and interested in a longer storyline that is going to take a while to pay off.
Like Matthew said, with soaps, you do have that chance to tell a more detailed story, where the peaks of the story are well earned and can be impactful. If they did that correctly on soaps, that would be great. That's the problem. What you're saying is great. We'd love that. Give me a slow story, or a story that's like decently paced. I don't need everything right now. I just mean like some of the soaps. I remember at one point, Days of Our Lives was so fast we couldn't keep up. It was like bam, 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 bam. You're like, okay, it's a little too much. But you have other shows. Y&R was known for being incredibly slow. There for years, they were known for taking stories that would last for years. They were known for that. And so they've changed it a bit, but they were known for that. So I'm saying we need something in between that. Something about Frank's talking about. We need something in between where it's not incredibly slow or super fast. There's something in the middle. I mean, like, because you said for a 10-episode series or 13-episode series, they have to actually plan it out, the pacing. So because by episode 3, this has to happen. By episode 6, they have to kind of plan it out. Some shows we cover did it very well, and some didn't. It just kind of happens. But I think you're right. It's like with the shorter seasons, they have to plan out the kind of like how this is going to look. But for the longer ones, like these soaps, they do a lot of work. Totally get it. They do a lot of work.
And not every storyline, give me a storyline that's 4 weeks. Give me another one that's also runs 8 weeks. Another one that runs 16. They don't have to all be the same storyline length, but you need to be able to, if you want to keep me invested in the long run, you got to give me some short-term payoffs on something that I'm watching.
I agree. I see you guys are naming some women in the industry in the past, but I agree. I mean, just any of them. Just like, needs female writer. Why did you describe Willow as she is being well taken care of? Why not? She has a great life, BS in teaching and nurse one child. Hello, it's 2022. Yeah, it's just it's again, some of these things are very archaic what they do. James and Ken should be head writers because I wouldn't write for a show. I told you guys, the fans are too crazy. I wouldn't write for a show. Ooh, they wouldn't like my storylines. I write for audio dramas. You guys enjoy those. Check those out of your nearest audio situation. But for big time shows, you don't want me. I'd be killing everybody off and doing all kinds of stuff. No pregnant. Nobody's being ever pregnant. And all kinds of stuff. And lots of sex. No. But I mean, seriously, I just really do. And you can ask me my gut feeling about it. I just told you. I'm hearing things. I don't think the show's going to last much longer, but it could be wrong. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I want the show to last for a long time, but I'm just like, anything's possible. I don't really have a super gut feeling. I mean, Stranger Things. I didn't know Days was going to Peacock. I knew it was going to end at some point. But then Days of the Peacock, I was shocked. But I thought it was smart. I thought this was really smart. Because Days of Our Lives was being canceled every year, basically. They're only giving a year renewal or 2-year renewal. It's like, oh, hello. That's not good. But I knew for a fact that it was about to go off the air. They were already done. So with GH and with Bold and with YN, Bold kind of does what Frank says. They kind of do like these little rotating, like 4 or 5 weeks is this storyline, 3 months is this story. They do 1 or 2 storylines a month, it seems like. Some folks hate it and some folks like it. I mean, it depends. It all depends. Couples in the shower, bubble bath, kiki stuff. Okay, Leopardus. It's all going that direction. But yeah, it's all about finances. Like Mia said, it's all about finances.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take more scenes in a crudely lit break room like we had with Carly and that person if you're just giving me good stories. I don't care about the set. Give me a cruddy break room set.
I don't care either. The sets don't make me excited. I'm sorry. We like some good sets, but I don't give a fuck. Give me some good scenes. Give me some good 2-person dialogue, 3-person dialogue. That's what I want. I want scenes I can quote. Yeah, that's what's a good scene. When you go, well, they said this. That's what I want. I want scenes where I can quote them and go, that was amazing. That's what I want, Frank.
No, I mean, you want to bring in a little Andor in there. You want one of those great like Luthen speeches, monologues.
Yes.
On that plank, like gangway.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I mean, seriously, that's what I want. It's like I said, I'm gonna continue watching the show. I'm not gonna not watch it. I'm gonna continue watching it. And just keep hoping that it gets better on some level. And there's been some months where it was great, and then some months it was good. I don't know, Frank. I don't know. Yeah.
Look at us ending 2022 on a hopeful note.
A hopeful note, you guys. Thank you for watching us. Frank and I do appreciate you guys. And we're back January 15th. So I'm taking 3 weeks off because I want to.
You've earned it, James.
I'm tired. But yes, we're back January 15th. Same with the other 2 shows, same edition days. We're all coming back on January 15th. We're taking time off. But happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate or don't celebrate. Happy to you. Frank, do you want to say anything to the fans?
As always, thanks for watching James and I talk about this stuff. I've been fortunate enough that James brought me in on this 8 years.
Almost 8 years, Frank. Yep.
Years.
We're almost there.
Holy cow. So love that I get to chat with everybody here, chat with James, talk about a show that we love, that equal parts we love and can be frustrated by. But like anything that you really care about, it's always a combination of both sometimes.
That's true. Frank is my most successful relationship with a man. So I will take it. I will take it. And Matthew Thiel's mentioning he's plugging his own show in our chat. 10th Floor GH tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific today. So go ahead and check it out at 10th Floor GH. I'm joking with them. They are our friends. So go check them out. I'll probably be on there making fun of him. Who knows? But go check it out tonight. 7 p.m. 10th Floor GH. Also, delete those emails, Frank. That's a goal in 2020. Yes, 2023.
Sure.
This week, I will be doing my morning shows. So I'll be doing them not tomorrow. I'll be with Flobo tomorrow morning. We're meeting for breakfast. But probably Tuesday morning, I believe it's Tuesday morning and Thursday morning, I will be with you guys this week. So there'll be a JLJ this morning. I might be with you guys tomorrow afternoon for daytime today, but there will be some live shows during this hiatus. I will do some, of course. And I remember our events start January 1st. Our private Zoom, sign up for them. You can find them everywhere you follow me is where all my stuff is. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. We'll see you next time.